Hey Taurus, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing your June 2025 Tarot and Oracle reading. Starting with the Mudra deck, it's going to give us an overall message to kick this off with. I want to encourage you guys to reach out if you'd like for me to pray for you. That offer always stands. I love to do it. It lifts me up to lift you up. And I encourage everybody at the channel to do it for each other. So if you would like to be prayed over, simply say hi in the comment section. Leave an emoji, whatever you're comfortable with. It gives us something that we can focus on. All right. Starting with the message, drum roll. All in one, one in all. A lot of people have been getting this lately. What is going on? So you make the okay signs with your hands. This is how you, if you want to physically empower the message, you make the okay hands and you point one down and you point one up like so. And this is what it means. Connected with the eternal light, my true self reveals itself. It radiates my love into the world. Through our connection with the cosmic consciousness, we can give up, we can surrender our fears, doubts, worries, and daily burdens. In the security of this bond, we are never alone. We are all one. So it's definitely a message of faith. Everything's going to be okay. My nose is itching, and that's always a sign. This mudra has a regenerative and strengthening effect on the whole body. It lightens and clarifies the spirits, and it's like a balm to the soul. All right, all in one and one in all. What that also alludes to is that perhaps what is best for you can be best for others. So if that's popping up in mind, there's a reason for that. Let's get more out. So what's coming towards my Taurus in June 2025? Make it clear, Spirit. And I will say, for anybody who has never been in my channel before, we only take the cards that fly out. They've got to join the discussion to be acknowledged. This is a living, breathing conversation. And if they fly in reverse, we read them as such. June 2025 for my Taurus. Let's see which way this fell. Upside down. All right. So, nice. We have an Ace of Swords. We've got the Strength card right in the center of your reading. Moving forward, making progress. I want to get clarity on a few before I start yapping. For my Taurus, this is Eight of Pentacles. Drifting on out, we've got the Two of Pentacles. This has got like Seven of Pentacles energy all over it. Let's see. The Lover's card and the Ace of Pentacles, right on. I wouldn't say this has to be specifically a relationship reading because the Lovers came out. The Lovers can talk about a choice around harmony and sometimes interpersonal relationships that are not romantic as well. But what's coming out so far is not super specific to career, super specific to relationship, but it is specific to a message, okay? So we start with a Hermit card. This is going within kind of in a situation. Basically, it's saying you're going to go through a situation. Don't you worry. Don't worry. You're going to go through a situation in June that's going to allow you contrast. What is going on around you allows you the ability to see the light of truth within you. And that sounds so poetic and sing-song, but basically, this plane, go away. Aren't planes supposed to go fast? It's just like, feels like it's hovering right above me. Anyway, I apologize for that. The Hermit, he's holding his lantern in the dark wood, and the lantern is lighting the path. So it's going to be very clear in this situation of contrasts where your truth lays. So there's actually a really beautiful meaning to that, right? Without the dark, he cannot see that his lantern is lit. He can't even see the flame dancing around in there because there's no contrast in that bright, shiny daylight. So, Three of Wands, moving forward, making progress. That's when you start to make progress. I will say, if you're in a situation that is uncomfortable, you're actually going to be moving out of it quickly because of the world of contrast. You're going to be able to see what you really want. If you're in a situation that's been confusing, or you've just been like, in a situation that's confusing, same thing. You're going to be at least given something that interrupts the whitewash of confusion to give you relativity. Like, oh, this happened? Okay, well, I feel this way about it. Okay, so It clarifies things. We have the Strength card, and that only comes out in reading when there's perseverance through a situation that might be a little bit sticky. So it takes that delicate strength from within to navigate, and you're going to do it beautifully. It's confirmation. Now we have the Ace of Swords. I want to get clarity on all these cards, but the Ace of Swords is a message of clarity. So this could be an epiphany, it could be actually a communication, but either way, again, we have this theme of clarity. Now, the one that we unpacked was Eight of Pentacles. The reason why we unpacked it was because when Eight of Pentacles came out, it came out upside down. And this means there was something, Taurus, that you've been spinning your wheels over. Maybe putting a lot of, trying your best to put your best foot forward, trying your best to work on it, but it feels like you're getting nowhere. In rare cases, this can be laziness. It can be the opposite of the natural meeting upright. But this looks kind of more like you guys were spinning your wheels, either within a relationship or a scenario where it's just kind of, is this getting anywhere? Where are we going with this? It's reprioritizing. So again, I'm happy to deliver this message that there is a choice. You're going to hit a point with a choice here. I've got to cover up their naked bodies because YouTube doesn't like that. With the Lover's card, where you're recognizing the disharmony that it's creating. Boom, you have another ace. You've got the Ace of Pentacles. That's when it clear cuts its way to something of value. So you make a breakthrough. That is a huge breakthrough. I'm going to get one more card on this breakthrough because it's kind of a fun card to get after what you've been through. There's been a breakthrough. It's either a breakthrough, I broke through and I'm making money, or I got a promotion, or I broke through and I'm finally like, this person is getting me now. Now there's a more equal give and take. There's reciprocity, or there's a gift, there's a gesture that comes out of your unhappiness with a situation. All right. So I'm going to unpack these cards a little bit more to give you clarity, and I will let you know there's going to be an extended to this reading. I always try to do them if I can. For those of you guys who don't like longer readings, you'll be happy with this one. If you like longer readings, you like to unpack the meaning and what the advice is around it, that is a great option. That extended will be in the link in the description box below. You just have to expand it underneath the video. What is this Hermit? Awesome. Wow, cool. Okay, well, Two of Cups. What's the Strength card? Sorry, I'm like giving you these little teases by reacting to the cards but not telling you. But I just want to be sure I have enough of the storyline to share with you. Oh, wow. Strong enough to lay down some boundaries, it looks like. Strong enough to see the truth. Strong enough to possibly put an ending to something here. And if you don't initiate the ending, know this. I think you are going to be glad for it. The Strength card comes out to lend a bullshit meter to a situation. It goes, it's going right off the charts. King of Swords. This could be another individual. It could be an air sign. It could be somebody who's just very logical, strategic, very analytical, really wants to get down to truth in a situation. Sometimes this represents surgeons or lawyers, you know, people who have to think from an analytical side of things. Now, for a few of you guys, this is actually you embracing these characteristics, and that is what the Strength is about. It's like strength to push aside emotion in a scenario and come at it from a really analytical place of just trying to get down to the cold, hard truth in a situation. And it's that which brings upon you an ending. But with this, Death card is a rebirth. So something new is moving in, or many new things is moving in while things are moving out. And specifically, this is maybe a sudden ending, or there might have been a sense of betrayal, or because the Ten of Swords is not a subtle ending. As you see, it's kind of intense, but it's meant to be there. We don't get the Death card when things aren't meant to kind of close up a chapter. So that's what your Strength card is about. So we've dived right into the middle of the reading. I feel like it's going within, it's that land of contrast, going to your first card, the Hermit, when I was talking to you about you're being put into a situation where you're gonna see contrasts between what you want and the situation around you. And that is actually a blessing, because only then can you make progress in a situation. It's way better than being in a cloudy, confusing mess, right? And so there's all these options now. Like now you can see with discernment what is illusion, what glitters, what is gold, and what is nasty, you know? So each one of these cups represents a choice or a possibility. And if you look closely, some have treasure in them and some have serpents. So in this moment, with the help of that inner voice and that inner wisdom, you are coming out of a place of disappointment. When we get this right side up, it's like, oh, spilled milk, crying over spilled milk, sadness, disappointment, looking at your loss. When you get it upside down, what you did, you're looking at the two full cups behind you, basically. See those two cups behind him? So it's kind of like being like, oh, good riddance, that feeling. And now we have moving forward, possibly with a new thing. This does allude to a partnership. Your ships are coming in, a sense that you've earned this. You're looking at the bright and possible future with an open mind, an enthusiastic view, and specifically around partnership. Now, this might not have landed on a certain person with a name and a face and a place yet for some of you, but you are getting a very clear idea of what you want. Actually, that's already happened. You're getting this sensation that it's on its way to you. Okay, so some of you guys know who I'm talking about. Some of you guys don't, but this is like you've already manifested it. Now that you've got a good idea of what you don't want, you really have manifested something that's coming towards you. There is this interesting little side note here around this clarity. I think that it was maybe in a social environment or possibly in a third-party situation that you got clarity around an individual. We have the King of Pentacles here, which typically represents your energy, and then we've got the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups in this spread came out upside down. That means that she is emotional. She's up and down. She's feeling out of sorts. Now, roles can be reversed, and if you recognize this scenario, that is what you want to hone in on, because it's almost like thanks to this is kind of, remember how we were talking about contrast in June? There is the contrast that you are being gifted comes by way of a social environment or a third-party energy. It could be friends. It's almost like being in a scenario that unfolds in such a way you're given clarity about a dynamic. So maybe this Queen of Cups is just kind of up and down and like, I don't feel comfortable with this, and maybe they act out on that. And you're like, whoa, okay, this isn't what I want, or this is not in alignment. Like, we need to address this. Maybe if you are the Queen of Cups, you have to stand back and be like, this is really throwing me out of sorts. I'm not usually this up and down and feeling emotional or even wanting to manipulate a situation because I feel vulnerable emotionally. So it's that which gives you the clarity, that scenario. Okay, I'm going to take this over to the extended to ask for advice and clarity about what the hell and why the hell this is happening. If this is where I leave you, I adore you. Thank you for joining me. Take good care. Consider liking, subscribing, saying hi if you want us to pray for you. Otherwise, I'll see you over at the extended. Mwah.